What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and back for the first time in quite a while with a Kajagoogoo reaction. Indeed, I wanted to give a big shout out to Han Solo, who shared their material, and I did start going through a very best of CD a while back, and then after a few of those reactions, I jumped back to their first proper album, White Feathers, 1983, and then I had to skip over one track because I had already done it on the very best of compilation. And indeed, this time I'm skipping over another track, the self-titled track, because I already reacted to that previously. But yes, the next tune in the playlist that I have not reacted to is Magician Man. So it almost feels like a bit redundant or wordy, a bit verbose. You could say magician or magic man, but Magician Man feels like you're adding an extra syllable, like you're trying to cheat at Scrabble perhaps. But yeah, someone who is skilled in the arts of, on one view, misdirection, sleight of hand, and so on, and then on another view, a more metaphysical or preternatural one, someone who is skilled in the mystical arts, conjuring and the like. So I imagine maybe this is more likely the latter. Again, I suppose I don't know enough of their material to make a true guess in that regard, but yes, it's someone who is good at performing feats that to most people seem mystical or almost unbelievable. So let's see what it is. This is Kajagoogoo, the track is Magician Man, and it's included on their 1983 album White Feathers.
He
fade, and I knew it was going to start just about when it did. So that's cool. It's very energetic, it's very frenetic, lots of moving parts, lots of energy. It definitely feels early 80s, just something about the synth work itself just gives me that very early 80s feeling. And yeah, the lyrics I'm not entirely sure about, especially a couple lines like he saw us coming or something to that effect. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it did seem to suggest someone who can amaze people and asking the question, will people pay to see this magic man or magical man? So yeah, it seems to be about someone who is skilled at least in stage magic, if not overt magic. And again, even after hearing it, I'm not quite sure which way that tilts more, but it feels like there is a degree of mystical or unseen or unknown processes that are being marshaled and conjured and put on display for others, although I suppose, at least as I heard it, it sounded like a question of whether people would be willing to fork over cash to see this, and I still don't quite know what to make of that line, like he saw us coming, which, again, maybe that's like he pulled the wool over our eyes, he did something that is not inherently supernatural, but because he knew what angle we'd be looking at it or which angle we would approach it from, it looked magical. So either way, lyrics aside, it was a really fun tune. There's that one vocal extension, which, like, is that Lamal? I'm not sure. Again, it's been a while since I've been back to this group, but I know he left the band at some point, but presumably he's all over the first album. But yeah, there was like the lead vocal sort of happening in front, and there was this extended vocal that just kept going, and then went up into the sky and then fell a little bit at the end before it finally petered out. But that was really incredible. And that instrumental section where there were some different synth lines, including a couple different versions of the same melody, I really enjoyed that part. That was maybe my favorite part. And then, as I said during the track, there was a section after that where it sounded like a synth version of a sitar, so a bit of a like mid or near Eastern sound to it. But yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of energy, very 80s style. It's, you know, the kind of music that I remember hearing on the radio as a very young kid, even though, you know, aside from Depeche Mode and then a few years later, Erasure, the names weren't really internalizing. So it's cool to catch up on some of these groups that, you know, made their mark, began to become popularly known when I was around and listened to the radio, but just not quite old enough to really take part in it in a larger sense, like my older sister, which again, shout out to my older sister and to a lesser extent my mom, who both were listening to synth pop and like British music in the 80s, or not just British, but like European music in the 80s when I was a kid. So I was exposed to some good stuff. So, and shout out to my dad, classical music, my older brother, classic rock. Again, I grew up in a very musically diverse household, which is probably why I do the things I do. In any case, another good one, and Kajagoogoo are now back in the rotation, so they should be coming around every few weeks or so. So bear with me, hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of the tune. I will see you next time. Peace.